Hey folks, what's up? Welcome back to another Poem Master video, and finally we got Mismagius' expanded sync grid, right? One of the sync pairs that came out after actually I think the only sync pair, right? 5-star gacha sync pair that came out after the sync grid update that did not have a sync grid for some reason, right? And she finally got a sync grid, and it is pretty good. So let's go over it and check out what it's all about, right? Different kind of builds and all that stuff. So Mismagius, in terms of like just Mismagius, vanilla, just so we know what we're building upon, right? The key things that we have are Shadow Ball's the main damage dealing move. Got Dance With Me, which gives +1 crit and 3 gauges, so in total +2 crit, +2 special attack, 6 gauges. And then, yeah, that's the main one. And we also have Bulkbuster 4, which powers up moves more the HP the target has, right? So that's all fine and dandy. And let's get into the grid, right? So the grid has a lot of things. Most of the good stuff, honestly, comes at 3 out of 5. However, at 1 out of 5, 2 out of 5, you don't necessarily, like, it's not bad, but it's not anything, insane either, right? Because your multipliers, Powerflux 5, Crit Strike 2, they all come at 3 out of 5, right? So like when you're at like 2 out of 5, 1 out of 5, you really don't have much. But then again, Mismagius it's a pretty well-rounded striker to begin with, so that like it doesn't really exactly need all that multipliers to be usable. But obviously you can't be great without it, right? So let's talk about this then. As usual, 1 out of 5, right? 1 out of 5. Like most other 1 out of 5s, just pick up every node not named the other damaging move name, right? In this case, it's going to be Shadow Ball. Pick up all these stat nodes, right? And then the MP refresh with X attack and Dance With Me, right? And or Dance With Me, however she pronounces it. And if you're using Omnis Win for some reason, right, then just unclick all these and pick up on this one, right? Pretty straightforward. So, moving on to 2 out of 5. 2 out of 5, you have some really interesting options. It opens up 1 on a roll for Shadow Ball. It opens up 1 swag bag for Ominous Wind, right? Also picks up, you could also pick up Critical Will 6, which has a 70% chance or whatever, chance of raising your special defense when you land a crit, which is very, very nice, right? Mismagius does have a decent special defense stat. It's not anything crazy, but like for a striker, 165 is really, really good, right? So you get to raise that every time you, or not every time, 70% of the time you crit. That's a decent bargain, right? So we could maybe look at picking that up. So anyways, before we pick that up, let's again, as a striker, let's pick up the offensive notes first. So Shadow Ball on a roll, which again increases the chance of lowering the opponent's special defense with Shadow Ball, which is really, really nice. You get an extra roll on your temper, or at 20%, right, for Shadow Ball. So that's always nice. Pick up all the other Shadow Ball power-up nodes. That's generally where you get your damage from. And maybe this special attack +20 as well, because it's 20 more special attack, right? And then you probably come down here, pick up Critical Will, because you do have the extra bit of MP. However, if you're running short on like supports, right, don't have another like crit support, maybe you go with MP refresh on this instead. If you don't have another support to give you special attack, pick up that MP refresh. But generally you probably do want to run like another spell, like even if you're free to play, like you have Torchic, right? Torchic gives you max special attack, max crit, right? Just with Torchic, because Torchic gives you +2, +4. So all Mismagius needs to do is to use like 1 Dance With Me and 1 X special attack to get +6 and +3, right? So you know what? Let's not worry about that. Let's just go for the juicy Critical Will over here, right? Which is pretty nice. As for the rest of the 5, just pick up some speed notes probably. There's a speed +10 over here, which is nice. Pick that up. I don't think there's any more special attack notes, right? Yep, there's no special attack notes. Alright, so if you do want an Ominous Wind build, which is something that you could do as well, it's very, very niche. Actually, you want to run Shadow Ball instead, right? Although there's one scenario where you would want to run Ominous Wind, which is when you're just completely out of MP, and like you're Balvilla, you're out of MP, everyone else is like gone, no more supports with MP. Okay, you could pick up Ominous Wind to give you some potential stat buffs. Then you could go down, pick that up with Swag Bag and all that stuff instead. While doing okay-ish amounts of damage, I guess. Critical Will to increase that a bit further. Again, since you're out of MP, there's no point picking up any MP refreshes. And do we? I don't think we have enough for this one, right? Yeah, we don't. But yeah, you know, overall, like 2 out of 5, you got a really solid build with Mismagius over here, right? So, anyways, moving on to 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5 is where we get all the interesting stuff, right? Power Flux 5, again, Crit Strike 2, all that stuff. So let's go for a standard, you know, just multipliers build, right? So you want to pick up Crit Strike 2, you want to pick up Power Flux 3. So I think the best route, in my opinion, is just to go down here. Towards Power Flux 5 and then bridge the gap over here with the Sync move power up, right, to get Crit Strike 2 instead of coming down picking up 2 Ominous Wind power ups, which you generally don't need, or Dance With Me, which is nice to have or would be nice to have, but sometimes very unnecessary and also costs 7 energy. Well, yeah, right. So that gives you what, a total of, yeah, so you definitely, I do think this is probably the better path. And then you got, what, 15 energy left. 15 energy, you could do some things with it, right? You could, if you want, you could pick up Will over here. If you want, you could pick up this extra Sync move power up. Or probably, as most people would do, right, just pick up the Shadow Ball move gauge refresh 2 over here. With that extra Shadow Ball power up, with the extra special attack plus 5. I think this is probably the best one. And then with that last bit, pick up like a speed note or something. But yeah, that's what I would go for generally, right? There are some other options which you could, you know, try it yourself. But yeah, that's what I would go for if you're just going for the multipliers and stuff, right? If we're going for like another scenario, right? If we're going for a scenario in where we, you know, want to use Mismagius more as like a long-term damage dealer, you know, in terms of, you know, lowering the opponent's special defense, especially more effective in legendary arenas. Not that any legendary arenas particularly weak to Ghost at the moment, right? But, you know, in the future they might. You probably would want to pick up the honor roll notes instead, maybe, just because, and especially if you are like running it with like a, you know, secondary like Ghost type striker or whatever, you know, that would definitely help, right? Double move gauge refresh and Shadow Ball, both honor rolls, and then come down and still pick up Crit Strike 2, right? Because it's Crit Strike 2. And then as for the rest, it depends on what other, you know, striker you're running it with. If you're running it with something that would sync, then you pick up some stat nodes. If not, then you pick up a sync node maybe instead. If not, then a power, you know, or not power up for Shadow Ball, right? Yeah. As for like a, not that it's in the game yet, but just for future proof, so I don't have to like go over it again once it comes out. If we do, you know, in the future get a 6-star EX Mismagius, and if you're one of the very, very fortunate people that get to upgrade Mismagius, right? It's 6-star EX, then you could go for something that picks up more of these sync node power-ups, which again, you know, is more effective in the long term. In terms of just your sync move damage, right? Just pick all this stuff up, that extra special attack node as well. Pick all 4 of these up, and then that last bit of energy you could pick up maybe a Shadow Ball power up or something, maybe speed, depends, right? Because you don't have enough, unfortunately, to pick up Shadow Ball move gauge refresh over there, right? So this is probably the best you could do, I want to say, right? So wait, can we actually, no, that's 4 as well. Yeah, that wouldn't work. Okay, yeah, no. So yeah, this is probably the best you could do, just in case. Again, won't have it at the moment, but you know, if in the future they do, and they will, right? Eventually they'll give everyone 6-star EXs. I think this would be something that could be a possible build here, right? So anyways, Ominous Wind, yeah, it's basically the same stuff. Again, very rarely would you use this. It is, you know, rather niche, but you could go for it, right? In certain scenarios, pick up 2 swag bags, right? You could still pick up stuff like a Power Flux, come down on Crit Strike 2, which, by the way, Crit Strike 2 with only 9 energy, that's very, very cheap. If you guys are wondering, like, how could we, like, pick up all these multipliers with Mismagius? Crit Strike 2 is very, very cheap. So, that definitely helps. But yeah, anyways, that's me at this one, I guess. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know, guys, in the comments down below. Like, enjoyed this video. So, we're going to travel some more Poem Masters content. And I'll see you guys in the next one.